Arcade Perfect, my Arse. Right, okay guys, welcome to another Arcade Perfect, my Arse. This week I'm taking a look at Hypersports, which was sort of the unofficial sequel to Track and Field, and it was released by Konami. It being an early computer game, it was only ported to sort of the early computers, the 8-bit computers and some of the consoles. Unfortunately, there never appears to have been a Track and Field release for like the 16-bit machines, you know, Mega Drive, Amiga, Atari ST. I mean, I think it's safe to say that these computers would have been able to have done an absolute arcade perfect version. But this is a great game. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Track and Field, and I'll like this game as well. I'm not very good at this. I'm alright at some of the events, but as you'll probably see later on, there's a couple of events I simply can't do. In this one, skate shooting, you basically move the joystick left or right depending on what target you're using. It's quite tricky because the first few that you've got to hit, the sight that you've got is very small, and if you miss one, there's a delay in sort of your gun reloading, and then so when you miss one you end up missing 3 or 4, so you've really got to try and not miss any, and the more you hit, your sight gets larger, which basically means it's easier to hit them. So I've still not qualified. What have I got to qualify? Is it Telma 3000? I need to get this one. Hey! I love this, the graphics are bright, super bright, they just look really good. Now this particular event was used in it was a sort of a quiz program back in the 80s called First Class, and basically as well as questions, it was like school kids that took part in it, as well as answered questions. They had to take part in some little events, and the hobby horse was one of them. Quite a difficult event because you've really got to get the timing right, which I've not done, so I'm really putting pressure on myself now. Oh, talking rubbish, I managed to do the second one there, so. And this one you've got to set the wind. You'll see the wind moves up and down, and you basically press the fire button to stop it. But once, to be honest, the wind doesn't make a big deal of difference, because once you've sussed out when to shoot, the wind is the same for every go, so it doesn't make a big deal of difference really. And if you get a bullseye, you get a little nice. What's to qualify? 3000. It just fell short a wee bit. I don't know what he's doing there, but it looks a bit rude. Should do better this time, I think. The secret of this event is just to look at where the sort of board is in relation to the sort of the other view of the board, and then at whatever point it is, you know when to shoot. So you just basically make sure the board is at the right bit before you press the fire button. Holding down the fire button changes the angle. The ideal angle is 5 degrees. Nice. One to go. Hey. Right, this is the triple jump, and I have never ever managed to do it in the arcade. I just can't do it. I just don't know what you're supposed to do in the sort of the arcade, not arcade versions. In the ports, you press the fire button. You've got to try and set the angle 3 times. But when I land on the second one, I always fall. If anybody knows what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. But it looks like I'm not going to qualify. There are further 2 events. There is the weightlifting and the pole vault, which you're not going to see, unfortunately. So that is the arcade one. Let's move on to some home versions. Great wee tune. Yep, and the first version we've got here is on this Spectrum. This was programmed by Joffa Smith. You'll see his name at the top right there. Oh, you did see it written backwards. Now, Joffa is sadly no longer here. He passed away quite a few years ago, but he was probably one of the best programmers back then. From what I hear, people knew him. He could program. He could do his own graphics. He could do sound. He was like an all-rounder, which was quite unheard of back then. He was such a talented programmer. I've got to say, he's done an absolute stonking version of this game in the Spectrum. Yeah, it's kind of obviously black and white. Well, not black and white graphics. The graphics aren't the most colourful, but you know, that's the limitations, the hardware. But this is a great version. So I'm the wee guy second for the bottom. I love the little Spectrum sound effects. When it says breathe, you have to press the fire button to breathe. Come on, hurry up. You just wouldn't get somebody lagging that far behind in the athletics. You can see there, the more you hit, more targets you hit, the bigger the little target gets. Well, it gets bigger to a point and then stops getting any bigger. But I think it makes it easier to hit as well. Ah, bugger, I missed a little bonus. Listen to that sound. Right, and this is the Vault. I love the little tash in this guy. He looks like one of the Freak brothers. Or if you're not that old, he looks more like one of the 118 characters in that annoying advert. Great graphics. I like the animation in this as well, really good. And then you need to try and press the fire button or waggle the joystick as quick as possible. Try and get as many somersaults in as possible and try and land straight up and down. Now I've edited this video so you're only seeing sort of 2, you basically get 3 goes of everything. I'll just cut it back to 2. I like the sound of that arrow when you fire it. What I like about this version, it's just a very clean looking version. Everything is just exactly what it should be. You can tell exactly what you need to do. Just really, really nice. Sometimes it looks like you've got a bullseye, but it doesn't always register. One to go. No, that was the last one. Right, moving on to triple jump. Now, hopefully I can maybe do this one. I've always been able to do it on the home consoles. I just can't do it on the arcade version. Got no idea. See, it's a lot slower as well, which makes it a bit easier. That was rubbish. What did I get there? Oh, did I qualify? I think I did. That's much better. There we go. And the last one is the weightlifting. Now, none of the home ports, or at least none of the 8-bit versions of this game featured the pole vault. They just didn't include it. Obviously, lack of memory or something. I think they obviously wanted to keep it as a single load. You know, which is a shame, you know, that they've missed out. This is a tricky event. I wasn't convinced with the graphics in this particular one. He looks quite scrawny. He looks like a little kind of beanbag person. I just... You've basically got to try and waggle the joystick as quick as you can, and then when it flashes you press the fire button to lift it above your head. Did I do that? I managed it somehow, don't know how. But anyway, that's a Spectrum one. That is brilliant. Right, next one is the Amstrad. Never ever played this one before. What's going on? Is it loading? Yeah, there we go. Hyper Sports by Konami. Let's stick my name in. Again, I was second from the bottom. Nice graphics with the swimming, but I notice there's a complete lack of sound, which is a bit strange. Is it possible I've got the sound turned off? I'm not too sure. Obviously I'm playing this under emulation. Now if you don't time the breathing right, you basically drown. Well, you don't drown, the guy stops to kind of catch his breath, so you've got to wait for it to say breathe, and then you press the fire button to breathe. If you do it too soon or too late, like I said, the guy will pause. Right, okay, so I've won that one, and nice and easy. Ah, there is some sound. Strange that they don't have any sound in the actual game itself. That's a bit odd. Well, bloody hell, right, for whatever reason I can't actually shoot. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Oh, managed to get one. Right. Normally it's left and right in the joystick, but that doesn't seem to be working. Don't know what's going on. I managed to hit a lofty 1. To qualify I've got to get 42, so I need to improve considerably. There we go, 1, 2. No, I don't know what's going on here. It just doesn't seem to be responding. I'm only hitting the odd one. No, I'm completely lost why this isn't working. What did I get there? 8. Right, I think this time I'm just going to shake the joystick left and right as quickly as possible. Well, I'm hitting a few more at least. I'm up to 26. Oh, could I? No, I don't think so. Right, I've got absolutely no reason, no idea at all why I can't do that one. So anyway, it looks like I'm not going to qualify. So right, that's Amstrad one. It looks a decent enough version, but I just couldn't play it at all. Yeah, game over. Right, let's move on. Right, now this next one, the MSX, I could not for the life of me get it to work, so I have kindly borrowed some footage from MSX2 Plus. I'll put the link to their original video down below. I do hope that it is quite an old video. I do hope that they're okay with me using it, but I will link to their video down below. Now I know the MSX, it was a machine I used to see pictures of in adverts in magazines, and it always had really good screenshots of track and field and hypersport, so it does look really good. It's definitely quite authentic looking. That's what you call height. Well, this guy who's playing it is certainly good. Way better than I could be. Yeah, I could get the game to load, but I just couldn't get it to work with the joystick, so hence I've had to pinch somebody else's. I've not pinched it, I'm just using it. I'm sure they'll be fine with it. That looks like Super Mario at the bottom. Yeah, this guy has certainly played this game before. It's going to get perfect, I think. 790 or 7,900, I should say. As I've said earlier, it doesn't really make a lot of difference what the wind is, because the wind stays the same. Ah, this is moving up and down. Ah, so this is slightly trickier then, because you've not really got any way to determine when to shoot. It's interesting that they've gone for this, because the arcade one always moves from the top to the bottom. What's he got to get to qualify? Yep. Oh, he's got one more. Ah, there we go. He's done it. You see, that look, to me that looks like a bullseye. And so is that. And so is that. I would say that's 3 bullseyes in a drop. Slightly too high. But yeah, you can see just what a great version this is. Really, really authentic looking. Maybe not quite so as colourful as arcade one, but that's again down to the sort of hardware. But graphically though, this is superb. Wow, super heavy. This guy knows his stuff. If I didn't know differently, I'd think this guy was possibly using some kind of cheat. Maybe he's not, I don't know, he might just be really good. It'd be interesting to see if this one's got the pole vault. Oh, no, sorry, the triple jump, that's right. Ah, so this one has got the pole vault. don't think any of the 8-bit versions did. In fact, I know they don't, because certainly the Amstrad one didn't, and the Spectrum one didn't, and I know the C64 one didn't either, because that was one that I played a lot back in the day. So that's what the pole vault looks like. I guess I've never actually seen it in an arcade one. But that is excellent, that is the MSX one. Right, yes, the BBC even had a version of this. And it's got not a bad little rendition of the Chariots of Fire tune, which Konami, or which Imagine used in their versions. I notice I've the screen's slightly cut off to the side. Right, anyway, let's get going. Press space to start. Now, I could not for the life of me get the joystick to work in this, so I'm having to use keys here, which I'm not very good at. Nice to see this game for the BBC though. Even if the swimmer is rather pink. Am I going to qualify? Oh, just. As you can tell, this one's multi-load. This is obviously on a disc. Right. Why can't I? I'm getting it now. It's very, very tricky. Hitting the earlier ones is pretty difficult. Qualify, nah. Oof. Still falling short. Hey. Love it. Look at the distance. Look at the distance he's got to jump from the springboard. I think in reality it's right beside the thing. I think you'd break your arms if you leapt that distance. He's doing Highland Fling. There you go, bad programme. Right, that's a BBC one. Looks like we're not going to get any further. Not bad, it's not a great version, but it's nice to see it on the BBC. Right, next one is the one that I played back in the day. This is on the C64. This has got one of my favourite pieces of Commodore 64 music. This is just stunning. I was a massive fan of Chariots of Fire film, so you know, it was obvious I was going to like this tune. This is brilliant. Yeah, absolutely superb. I could just listen to that all day, but the purpose of this video is to show you the game, so let's get my name in. What's interesting is, depending on what version you play, the lane that you occupy changes. I mean, in this one I'm playing as the bottom, the very bottom. There's other versions, I think I was 2 for the bottom. The graphics in this version are excellent. They couldn't have done much more to make it look like the arcade. Yeah, you miss one, and it takes the gun a few seconds to reload, and it just completely breaks your timing. You've really got to not miss. This level in particular I think is brilliantly done. It just looks so much like the arcade. I mean, Imagine had come up with this really clever technique of basically drawing the sprite, then they would be able to colour it in using a sort of black outline, which just gave it a really detailed look, whereas before graphics in the C64 were always expanded sprites, always looked really blocky, but the technique that these guys used was just brilliant. Oh dear. I noticed if you look at the actual target, the target you can see there, not the one that's moving, another one, I noticed there's a bit of like colour bleeding. It's like the colour's not been filled in properly. Does anybody know why that would be the case? You can see bits of grey around it. Or is that supposed to look like that? Or is that a technical, is that sort of hardware limitation that would cause that? And there's also something that happens, which we'll see in a second. It completely changes colour, and then it goes back to the blue. What is there a reason for that? Does anybody know? This is something that's always intrigued me when I've been playing this over the years. Come on, I need to get a couple of bullseyes. See, that looks like a bullseye to me, but and so does that. Hey! Right, moving on. too short. He's doing that rather suggestive move with his arm. I don't know what he's doing there. Oh, that's got to be better. I love the sound in that version as well. Martin Galway absolutely nailed it. Yeah, you can see there they've kind of used the sprites in that particular one look a bit rubbish, kind of look a bit pixely, but I suppose because it's a larger sprite. Let's give that a go. I'll try, let's go for middleweight if we can. Here we go. That is really, really difficult. Come on, get up. Nah, sod it. Stuff it. Anyway, listen, that's the C64 one. That's a great version. Right, this last version is on the NES. Now, interestingly, Hyper Sports was released on NES in Japan, but I could not for the life of me get the controls to work. I tried everything, different emulators. So this is the American one, and this is called Track and Field. And you can see there, they've used some of the events from the Track and Field game, and they've used some of the events from Hypersports, so it's kind of like a hybrid. It's a mixture of the two, Track and Field and Hypersports. So I'm just going to look at the three events: skeet shooting. I can't even remember what the other two were. I was moving on too quick, but yeah. So this is the skeet shooting, and this looks great. Again, it's quite tough to get going to try and hit the initial few targets. You know, when you miss, you just keep, it takes a few seconds for the gun to reload, and it's hard to get any kind of continuity going. See, once you get the bigger target, it gets a wee bit easier, but that's a bit too much too late, I think. But this one really captures the look of the arcade. The sort of font that they use as well is brilliant. Right, fortunately we can pick what event we want, so we'll just give this one a quick go. It was going well there as well. Hey! Don't know why this is tricky. You know, the 8-bit ones were definitely easier to play, but I dare say with a bit of practice you would nail it. Doing really well there and I've completely lost it. Still it's enough to qualify. Like I says, I could just pick the next event anyway. Right, triple jump. Qualify, hey! Slightly better, not much. Oh, that was better. That was a lot better, bloody hell. Smashed it. A world record, no less. The sound as well is arcade perfect. Right, so this is the third event that this particular game contains. The other events are all from the original track and field. I don't know why they didn't bring this out in, you know, the US, but you know what these licensing deals are like. You know, they might have had a license to release it in Japan but not in the US, so don't know. Because you can see here, the NES could have given you an absolutely arcade perfect version. So that's the last one. To recap, what have we got? The Spectrum one is fantastic. It is an absolutely brilliant game. I don't think Joffa Smith could have done a better version. Super playable. Amstrad one, disappointing lacky sound, and the fact that I wasn't able to get past the second event didn't really help, but it looked nice. Could have done a wee bit more sound. MSX one is really nice. You know, it looks the part, it really does. BBC one, it's alright, it's the BBC, you know, the fact that it's even got a version out is pretty good. Commodore 64 one is an astonishing game, it really is. That's just, you know, graphics, sound, everything. NES one, like we says, it doesn't actually have an official track and Hyper Sports version. Well, there is. It was released in Japan, so I can't comment. I've not been able to get it to work. But I think probably I would have to go in bronze position. I'm not going to include the NES because, you know, it's not technically track and field. Sorry, it's not technically Hyper Sports. So in bronze position, I'm going to go for the wonderful Spectrum version. It's fantastic. Second place, I'm going to go for the Commodore 64. I think it's an absolute cracking port. The guy's done really well. I've got the graphics. It's got the best sound by far of any of the 8-bit versions. But I think the best version by quite a bit has got to be the MSX. It's absolutely stonking. So anyway guys, that is another Arcade Perfect My Arse drawn to a close. If there's a particular game you want to see me feature in this series, just put your comments below. And finally guys, thank you very much for watching.